Yeah.
So you guys have been doing the show for 7 years.
It will be in April, yeah.
Live from Waterloo's Public Access Studios, it's Ms. Rocky and Shaviva's North End Update Live.
Bringing you the good stuff from a North End perspective, of course. Today's guests,
Pastor Q, Quovadis Marshall of Hope City Church, and talented singer-actor Ahmad Madlock.
welcome to Friday.
No, Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Okay.
You know what time it is. Boom shakalaka! Woo! All right.
Hey, we got
that-
a little Wednesday energy.
I know, right? Was that Pat Kenny back there hollering?
I think so.
think
we
it
had
was.
extra boom shakalaka.
Okay, thank you. He dropped the boom on us.
Okay.
Welcome to Ms. Rocky and Shaviva's North End Update Live. Because there's always something good happening on the North End, y'all.
And everywhere else, y'all know this. This is what
That's
we always
right.
tell you.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, this is the best show on YouTube, Instagram, well, just the whole internet. I don't
There
know
you go.
how that happens, but yeah. Hopefully you stayed tuned and you were watching the pre-boom and you learned about those wonderful events that are going on. But this is the boom, y'all. On a Wednesday,
That's
I'm
right.
Rocky.
And I'm Shaviva.
And this
is North End Update.
We got a shout out to our frequent viewers that watch every single week. Charles Young, May Ambrose, James Russell, and Terry Smith.
Yes, and also Joy Salas, Jimmy O'Neill, Halida Wright Vala, and Angel Stigler.
Right, and as we said before, today we're going to have Pastor Q, as he's known.
Yes.
And his name is Quovadis Marshall. I know the baby's mama and daddy.
See?
So, I could go all the way back there, and I love it. And what about the next guest?
Okay, yes, absolutely. We have Ahmad Madlock here. He is, if you've been around town and seen him in situations where he's singing, he's going to be acting too. That is really so exciting. I'm really looking forward to talking to him about this special role he's going to be playing.
Same, and that's what a blessing it is to live to get this age, because I know that baby's mama and daddy too.
There you go. Yep.
You know, it's funny when we talk about our guests, and we can't, we see so many people, sometimes we'll say, now, and I got this from you, what's the baby's name?
Oh, what's the baby? Yep.
What's the baby? That's what some people's name just be what's the baby, because we can't think of it.
Yep.
But we know you, and we love you, so.
Okay.
Today's talking point will be every high school should have a mandatory class called Life, which teaches you how to, balance a checkbook. Sound familiar? Like
Yes.
home ec?
Yes.
We used to have it, so.
Yep.
I don't know, we'll ask Ahmad, is that part of school anymore?
In a very small facet, I would say.
Okay, we'll get to that in a minute, and then give it air.
That's right. For Give It Air, we're going to be discussing, instead of giving your children all the things you never had, teach them all the things you never learned. Because material wears out, but knowledge stays. And we're going to be applying that to something specific.
Yes,
Yeah.
today, and because when I think about some of my history classes, it's really crazy how they skimmed over so much, that you really didn't get to grasp what really happened.
Some
so.
stuff didn't get skimmed over, it just got left out.
Yeah, there's that.
Yeah.
And then we want to say breaking news for you. Quovadis, is he a singing preacher?
I don't know.
Okay.
We're going to find out today, though,
We're gonna
right?
find, he gonna sing today. We're gonna see if we can harmonize with a real singer, Ahmad Madlock.
That's right. And since we have a real singer, maybe Pastor Q can get by with lip syncing or something like that.
Right. We just want our birthday people to stick around, because you're not gonna want to miss that, right? And Shaviva, what's next? Convo? We might want to have somebody talk.
That's right. We really appreciate having this platform, because what we are able to do to draw attention to some of the businesses that are starting up and everything, we can get stuff from them, whatever it is that you produce, and give these things away on our show and talk about, who you are, your business, give you an opportunity to come on and give our viewers an opportunity to win something.
Right,
So-
and guess what? Today we're going to go ahead and introduce our guests right away, and then they're going to be able to help us with a drawing, right?
Yes, that'll be great.
Welcome.
All right,
So
boom,
great to
there
be
they
here.
are.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh,
It's an
you're
honor.
so
Yeah.
welcome, Pastor Q. It's an honor to have you here, that's for sure.
Thank you.
And it's also an honor to have Ahmad Madlock with us today.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
All right, so we're going to get started right away with our wonderful drawing. Shaviva,
Oh, that's
you know,
right.
Shaviva gets the wonderful job. There you go.
Ring the Kentucky bell.
And
Yes.
let's see, we need one of those coffee cups. Is there a way you could Pat can hand us that, or somebody can? Because we have 3 names here of people that
Pay no attention to the
share.
man at the edge of the.
Right, the man behind the curtain. Okay, so who's going to draw that? This is for sharing the post, the reel that we asked you to share, and this is going to win our viewers a $25 all-you-can-eat kind of situation at Carpenter's.
At Carpenter's, really
Can I put
awesome.
my name in?
No, too late. You wasn't paying attention. Okay, we got one name,
Our winner is.
and the winner is
Shari
Shari
McKinney.
McKinney. All
All right,
right,
Shari,
get your grub on.
congratulations.
Yes.
Yes.
Yay, Shari.
Hey.
Way to share.
That's right. If you have
See?
not been there, you're going to enjoy yourself.
That's right. And then now we might as well go ahead and let Pastor Q, you want to hold that mic because that's going to fall, or
Okey
stick
doke.
it down in that. There you go. She calls me MacGyver, but I'll make it work.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to pull one more name out of this one for another $25. Yes,
gotta ring
for
the bell.
Carpenters.
Okay.
Somebody hungry, I hope.
Now, I'm sure your name's in this one.
Quovadis Marshall.
Oh,
Look at God. Look at God. Look at God. Look at God.
stop now.
No, not really. Not really. It is.
It is.
Mrs.
Is it a hard name? It's Jana Poole Fairbanks.
All right,
There you go.
Jana.
Jana was my
Congratulations.
costume director for
I
my
was
time in
going to
Shrek.
say,
Oh, she
So,
is.
shout out Jana.
Okay.
there
we
we
know
go.
her
There
from
we
the Waterloo Community Playhouse. That's where we got our costumes that time.
Yes,
Yep.
love it.
Congratulations, Jana.
Yes, and thank you so much for watching. Ed, do we have comments?
You have one. Terry Smith
Yes.
says hello, everyone, including my nephew Ahmad.
Oh,
Hey,
yes. Yes, we're thankful and glad that you're watching because I know he's going to show off for us, ain't he, right? All right. So usually we kind of start out, we'll talk about the, let's talk about the Soul Town, Shaviva.
Okay.
We can't let the Soul Town.
Absolutely.
Do
Yes.
you have copies?
Not currently. I don't know.
You
I
haven't
would love
subscribed?
to have one.
Okay.
This one just, bam,
Was this
came
the new
in.
one?
Yes,
Oh, it
this
sure
is the new
did.
one.
Wow.
Just came, the Soul Town magazine.
Who's on the cover? Oh, Dr. Blackwell,
Yes,
the
indeed.
speaker the other night.
Amazing.
Yes.
Spoke talking about the impact of the dream, of a dream, excuse me. This magazine, for those of you who don't know, was started right here in Waterloo by none other than Cherie Kaba. Her journey has been as long as ours. We've been
Right,
like
we started about the
parallel,
same
neck and neck,
time.
yeah. As a matter of fact, we were once writers with the Soul Town, and that was something that gave us inspiration to get this show started.
That's right, yes. And now we're just a push button away because in this magazine, you can actually watch the Rocky and Shaviva northend01 show on the digital version. You just you just push play. We can't find it right
There
now.
are
There
so
it is.
many, yeah.
See, that's us. If you got the digital version, you can just push play and watch Pastor Q and Ahmad.
That's right. So
See?
many great things in this magazine. There's advice, there's recipes, there's opinion pieces, religious pieces, just anything that you might be interesed in and
All
things
of
you
that.
probably had no idea.
Right, and to get your copy of
That's
the Soul Town, you want to go to thesoultownmagazine.com or
That's right. To get your hard copy, you can just go right over to Earth's Beauty Supply.
do you buy all your hair products?
Absolutely.
at Earth's?
Absolutely.
Do you?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Stop on in and get yourself a Soul Town. I think they're only $5 an issue, so you can't beat that. Lots of interesting stuff. All right, so our talking point today, we're trying to get you to break the ice, Pastor Q.
Okay.
I know you're kind of nervous speaking in front of a bunch of people, so
Oh, man.
millions of
Oh,
views. We
no.
just hit
Lord help
2
me.
million on YouTube, so
Really?
no.
Okay.
I'm just putting it out there. I'm putting it out there
Yeah,
because it
speak
just
it.
might
So
happen.
then
Speak it.
anything
Yeah.
less,
Speak
you
it.
can
Speak it.
relax.
Yes. Let's talk about our talking point, Shaviva. What is it today?
Okay, yep. Every high school should have a mandatory class called Life, which teaches you how to sew, change a tire or oil, do your taxes, basic first aid, basic cooking. As a matter of fact, basic things that you need to know in real life.
because, yeah, you get sent out in the world, and, I really didn't even know how to balance a checkbook. I had to, it was trial and error and then bounce checks, all of that. Are they still teaching any kind of business or?
You know that she looked at you and not
Yeah,
me.
because I know
Just assumed.
you graduated a couple years ago.
Just a few moves ago. Just a few moves ago.
Well, in my time in high school and middle school, we, again, like I said a little bit earlier, it happens in smaller facets.
Oh.
You can elect to take them. We don't go as in depth maybe as we maybe
Oh.
should. Because retention is important. So I feel like if it's a focused class, it's easier to retain rather than it being a side note of a class that doesn't really have anything to do with the life skill.
Okay, so you're saying it's an elective.
I am.
And so some people can elect to be dumb. Did I say that? Or not to know what's going on. So hopefully you high school students that are watching, forget that. I know dumb's not a good word, but it's good if did you take them? I don't want to.
Meant to the whole audience,
exactly.
the whole 1 million subscribers. They can
Right.
I did actually happen
Oh,
to
phew.
take one semester of a home ec class.
Good.
I did, however, opt out of the second semester. So what can you do about
There
that?
we go.
Okay, but I remember a long time ago, we had home ec, we learned how to sew, and I remember learning that a big football player, now this was a little different from back in my day, Rosie Greer, I don't know if you guys remember.
Yeah, I remember Rosie
You
Greer,
remember,
of course,
I know, maybe
yeah.
some of our viewers will, but he was known to actually be learning embroidery. And, so it really kind of taught people that you can be a big guy and play football and
Right.
do all that stuff and still be in touch with a feminine
Yep.
or something that's considered feminine.
Oh,
So,
absolutely. Yeah. I
Yeah.
think you want to be well-rounded as a person,
Exactly.
and have access to not just professional skills, but also personal skills. When I was in school, we did home ec, and
Yeah.
I
Did you
learned
take
how to.
the class?
Oh, absolutely, we did.
Okay.
Learn how to balance a checkbook. Learn how to make macaroni and cheese. Learn how to sew.
Okay.
And we didn't have a lot of money, so I sewed a lot of stuff.
Really?
Come on, I was
See?
Patch Adams, and so
Patch
I
Adams.
I
Okay,
sew
I
up the
love
bottom.
it.
My pants was too big, and so I cuffed the
Okay.
bottom and sew them up. So those are skills. Those are
Right.
skills. My wife says there's nothing sexier than a man who know how to cook and clean.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah,
I
she
can
said
see
I look
that.
good. She said I look good. So
I agree with
so,
your
so
wife.
to the young people watching, it
Yes.
will pay dividends in the future to learn some of these life skills.
Exactly. Well, good. Do you feel like your children are being equipped? Is that something
Yeah.
that you think should be enforced at home as
Oh,
well?
oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think we want to prepare people for life and not just their profession. And so I think it's honoring. I mean, the idea that it's my job, or we have two children, a 28-year-old and a 6-year-old.
Oh, my
and,
goodness.
a little bit of a gap. And
Yes.
so I think it does him a disservice and a dishonor to us as parents to leave all of the cooking, cleaning, life preparation to him. He's going to be some woman's husband someday. And the phrase I tell Jonathan, we call him Bubba. He's going to
Okay.
kill me if he actually said to me, "I'm not on Facebook, Dad. All the old people are on Facebook."
Oh, my
And
goodness, that's the truth,
Yeah,
though. He told you what's
I
the
about
truth.
whooped him. He's still whooping my house.
Okay.
But here's the phrase I tell him. I say, "Jonathan, you are in training for reigning. And one day you will be a king of a castle, and you need to know how to take care of that home and that woman and those kids." And so I think it's important.
That's right.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah,
good.
absolutely.
I love that. In training for reigning.
Absolutely.
Yes. You're going to be reigning one day, the king of somebody's house. Yes. Bubba, listen to your daddy.
Listen up, boy.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for talking about that. We want to talk about our Give It Air, and we're going to get through this kind of fast because we know we got some talking to do with
Yes.
you, and we got some singing to do. Not singing, we're going to sing.
Singing.
Did you bring your music? Did you have music?
I've got the phone right here. Whenever we want it.
Okay, I don't know how
awesome.
we'll work that. We should have paired it when you came in, maybe. But
I can take a little break. Whatever you need me to do.
Do you want to go ahead and step over
Sure,
and pair
yeah.
that? Is that what you got your mic
Yep,
on?
I'll
Is
do
that
that.
okay, Ed? Can you help him with that? Okay, so we'll talk about our Give It Air now. You listen, Ahmad, because this is something you can learn. Okay.
I'm all ears.
Okay. So what is it today?
Okay, instead of giving your children all the things you never had, teach them all the things you never learned. Because material may wear out, but knowledge stays. Okay, and we were applying that specifically to history
Yes.
that should have been learned that wasn't. Like, for example,
Well, I was always wondering. I had to ask Siri, who is Jim Crow? Because
Yes.
we always hear about Jim Crow, and I always kind of how do you say that word?
whatever,
Attribute.
equate.
Equate.
Equate, that's the one. With Uncle Sam, we
Oh,
see
yeah.
the Uncle Sam picture. So I thought Jim Crow was another name for the government or those bad laws that they were prohibiting black people from doing. So I asked Siri, and this is what I found out who Jim Crow was. It was what?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Thomas Dartmouth Rice, a white New Yorker, began performing an act that would make him famous in the 1830s. He painted his face black and did a song and dance he claimed were inspired by enslaved black people. The act was called Jump Jim Crow. He would put on not only blackface makeup, but he would also put on shabby clothes that imitated, in his mind and in the minds of other whites during that time, the dress and the behavior and the characteristics of enslaved black people. Okay, it was a harmful caricature. All right, the show that he did exploited stereotype speech, movement, and physical features attributed to black people in order to mock them. And it entertained and, most importantly, miseducated whites at the expense of blacks, all for Rice's financial benefit. Jim Crow generally sort of became shorthand for describing African Americans in this country, and also the name of a set of laws
Yes.
governing what black people could and couldn't do, based on those negative stereotypes.
Yes. So that's our Give It Air. And sometimes we just talk about things that aren't usually discussed or talked about on other shows and kind of give everybody a little something to grapple with, through the week. Because I had no idea that that's what Jim Crow, I mean, I knew the laws were awful and I knew all of the restrictions. But yeah, we just wanted to give that a little air.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Yep.
Because sometimes airing things out is the best
Best
disinfectant.
disinfectant, for
Oh, that's
sure.
great.
We hope you learned something from that segment. I think we're going to talk to Pastor Q now. Shaviva, what do you want to talk to him about?
Okay, well, for those who might not, and I'm sure there's nobody who doesn't know
No.
who Pastor Q is.
Right.
Just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, well, again, thank you so much for having me on the show. Y'all remind me of your auntie who always got the tea on what's happening in the neighborhood.
Okay.
Give you a little bit of wisdom and a little boy, don't do that. And so it's an honor to be here. Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome.
I'm my full name's Quovadis, Quovadis Marshall. I'm from Waterloo. I am born and raised here. I've lived here my entire life for the most part. Both my mother is originally from here. My father moved here from Chicago, and I went to high school at East High School. And I love this place. This is my home. I married my high school sweetheart. My wife and I will celebrate October the 1st. 30 years of being in a relationship together.
Wonderful.
And so I met her when I was 14, and she's my safe place. She's my best friend. I was talking to my son last night, and I said, your mother's my friend before she's my lover, which is what makes her such a good lover. It's because she's my friend. And we have two amazing kids. Kaylee's 28, and then Jonathan's 16. I became a dad really young, and we've by God's grace stayed together through it all. A lot of ups and downs, a lot of valleys, and I think every story, it's not just filled with the sweet, but it's filled with struggle and it's filled with suffering, and that's the story of humanity. Anyway, 8 years ago we planted Hope City Church.
Right, that's what I wanted to talk
yeah.
about. What was the name? And when I hear the name Hope City, it just, because we love Waterloo. That's what our show is about. We promote Cedar Valley.
Yep.
So Hope City has a special meaning. Talk about why did that name come to be?
Yeah, I think at the heart of the message of Jesus is the message of hope. When I was 17 years old, I wasn't raised in a church family, and so I didn't have a brownie baking grandma. I had to go to the bootleg house around the corner.
All right.
Grandma.
Okay.
And so at 17 I met the Lord, and I knew I wanted to spend the rest of my life extending the message of hope and healing that I had received. So for 18 years it was just a prayer, but when it came time to start the church, at the time, we were thinking about names that would communicate really not only the heart of what we believe the Bible teaches, but the heart of who we are as a community that we wanted to start in. I saw anchors everywhere. So I thought, oh man, I'm going to name the church Anchors, Anchor City Church.
Oh my, okay.
And I went to my daughter at the time, who was in her she's a teenager, and I said, Kaylee, I think we should call the church Anchor City Church. And she was like, that's a horrible name, Dad.
They'll tell you, the kids will let you know.
And I said, but I just feel like God wants to bring an anchor and a hope to our city, and we're one small part of it. There's a lot of amazing churches here in the Cedar Valley. And she said, well, Dad, anchors are the universal sign of hope.
Oh, so.
And I said, that's it.
That's it.
That's it. We want to be a place where people can be different, where people can make a difference, and really the heart of our church is to do it with people who are different. And so diversity, ethnically, economically, politically, it's huge for us. We like to think of our church as the watering hole of our city.
What I like about it is, I'm sure, Ahmad, everybody's heard that Sunday is the most segregated day of the week in America. And we are, thank you, Ed, we can tell that your church has kind of overcome that. You have all cultures, races, and nationalities there. And what do you attribute that to?
I would say two things. One, Jesus said, if I am lifted up, I'll draw all people to myself.
Okay, say it.
And
Preach.
so I think
He's
the important thing is that that's right. We have to make sure to make the main point of what we do as a church not our preference, but a person. And so that means we have to ask ourselves, what are barriers to people finding and belonging to a faith community? So one, we try to really focus on lifting Jesus up. Number two, there are three barriers to reconciliation. First is time. Second is proximity. And that's really the indictment of the church, is that it's still the most segregated hour in America because we've chosen our comfortable cul-de-sacs to be in. And so we've been able to solve that problem, time in proximity. So time, is there a time when you're ever around people who don't look like you? And so Sunday morning affords us an opportunity to do
Love
that.
it.
Because we've got common ground. And so that's the time piece. And then proximity is the same place. So 9 o'clock, 11 o'clock, we'll meet in this building. Those two barriers are pretty easy to overcome, even in a work environment. It's the third one that requires surgery and honest introspection. And it's this, the third barrier to reconciliation is the illusion of innocence.
Nice. The illusion of innocence.
It's the illusion of innocence.
And why, okay, we could, you know what, you're the kind of
Right, we
person
could
that
go
could go
on
all the
and
way down this great thing. I mean, conversation is so enlightening and encouraging, but I'm going to have to, we have a comment, Ed, but what was it, the illusion
The
of
illusion of innocence.
innocence. See, that's something, that's a cliffhanger. You got to come back next week.
Hey, I'm here.
Okay, Ed, we have comments.
Yeah, I think Bev Smith was talking when you were doing your Give It Air. She just said great information. And then
Thank you,
Lolita
Bev.
Carter Montgomery, when Pastor Q was talking about his son, talking to his son, she said training for reigning, what a gift fathers or father figures can give to their sons.
Yes. Wonderful, yes. Thank you. So yeah, Pastor Q, and can you kind of skim over the answer to that so we can move to Ahmad, because he got some songs too.
Oh yeah, I don't want to take up his time.
How's that?
I think the illusion of innocence is the idea that we have an inability to see where we're wrong, hold prejudices or biases. And if we believe the Bible says all of us have fallen short. And so if we can get honest about the fact I might have some things against you I'm even unaware of, could we create a safe space for us to have conversation? And that's been the journey that we've been on as a multi-ethnic church for the last 8 years.
Wonderful. Not that scripture comes to mind, not one is righteous.
Not
Not
one.
one. So that really resonates.
Yeah.
Thank you, Pastor Q. Anything else you want everybody to know? Come to church.
Oh yeah, I mean we absolutely.
Okay.
I think we like to say that everyone is welcome because no one's perfect and anything is possible. And we believe that my life is a testament of that. I wasn't always a pastor, and you know my mom and my dad, and I met Miss Shaviva back when they moved
Yes,
here.
right.
And,
okay,
You were
long
friend-
time ago.
You were friends
Yeah,
with my
or so-
children.
yeah,
One of the
and
faces
so-
I saw at my house
yeah,
fairly
so-
often.
yeah.
All right.
So yeah,
Well,
thank
good.
you again
you're
for having
so
me.
welcome.
Thank you.
So welcome. Now, what do you got for Ahmad?
Okay, Ahmad, tell us a little bit about yourself and your work as a performer.
Okay, well, first of all, thank you for having me.
You're so welcome.
Thank you for joining us.
Always gracious for the opportunity. I've been performing my whole life, I feel like.
Okay.
My singing started with my grandfather, Clyde Thomas. He's a singer, and I saw him sing in church, and it really did inspire me to not only begin to perform, but to really find my voice. You know, I watched him take songs and make them his own effortlessly.
And you grew up in Payne.
Yes, yes, I grew up at Payne AME.
Yes.
And then we moved to Antioch after quite some time.
Oh.
And I've got to say, throughout both of those churches throughout this city, there is
Yes.
so much immense talent. And I think growing up in such a talented city has been very helpful in not only, again, allowing me to find my voice, but allowing me to feel like I can use it. You know, and I feel like that's very good for our performers. It's very important.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So. Yeah, I don't know what else you.
Oh, no.
No, yeah.
We've seen you a number of times performing, singing, and I know that your parents have been very, very supportive.
Absolutely.
Have they?
Instrumental.
Yeah. Have they served in other purposes as far as helping to keep you grounded?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's something that we've been sort of saying amongst ourselves for years. It's stay humble. Yeah, you know, it's pretty simple, it's pretty cliche, but you know, it's a very easy reminder. After you're blessed with a beautiful opportunity, that does not mean, first of all, that this is it. That doesn't mean that this is it, but that also doesn't mean that it can go to your head. You know, staying grounded is important to getting better, in my opinion.
Okay.
So.
Great.
Talk about this role that you have.
Yes, I am very excited to
Oh,
be
yes, Sammy
playing.
Davis Jr.
Yeah. So the story goes
hear about
that there is Sammy Davis Jr., Frank Sinatra, and Dean Martin are up in
Frank
heaven. And Frank Sinatra had created some unfinished business down here on Earth 25 years ago.
Oh, wow.
So before we turn to the new century, we're set in 1999. Before we turn into the new century, we need to go back down and finish that business. What does that mean? That means that we need to inhabit the bodies of 3 normal folks and carry out the last few performances.
Wow.
And, so yeah, it is a beautiful concept. We've got a great director, Kristen Teague Torres. I've got practice tonight. I'm excited to go every time. You know, it's going to be a great show.
How much did you know about Sammy Davis Jr. before you took on this role?
So actually, quite a bit more than people my age generally.
Probably,
you know.
Yeah.
I have a pretty old soul, and that comes from my foundation and all that. So the Rat Pack music specifically has been in my life for as long as I can remember. So when Kristen approached me with this role, and then it was finally audition time, I was ecstatic.
You were
I was
ready. I know you were. You've been ready
Ready
for
to
a long
own that
time,
role.
right?
Okay.
Right.
right.
Well, we're going to actually get to hear from you.
Absolutely.
And then we still get to sing the birthday song,
Yes,
too,
yes.
afterwards. So what did you bring for us to?
So this one, I did want to bring one that was outside of the show because Sammy Davis Jr.'s music with the Rat Pack is, first of all, you got to come to the show to hear me sing.
Of
it.
course,
right.
yes.
That's first and foremost.
Okay.
But second of all, his music, his solo music, just has such a specific energy to it. So this is Sammy Davis Jr. doing Frank Sinatra's "You're Nobody Till Somebody Loves You."
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Right.
Do I
Pinch
just-
Pokey on me a Coke, Shaviva. Yeah, go
Go
ahead.
from here?
Go from
Yes.
here.
All right.
Wow,
Is it okay if you still sit?
Yeah,
Or-
absolutely.
Okay.
this is a treat.
Feels
Isn't
even better.
this wonderful?
I think we're all in. You're nobody till somebody loves you. You're nobody, not till somebody cares. You may be the king and you may possess the world and its gold, but gold won't bring you any happiness when you're growing old. The world will be the same. You never change. Not as long as the stars shine above. You're nobody, not till somebody loves you. So snatch yourself somebody to love. Last key change, you're nobody, not till somebody loves you. You're nobody, not till somebody cares. You may be the king, you may even possess a Learjet and all that gold, but gold won't bring you any happiness, not when you're tired, get wrinkly and feeling old. Don't you know that the world will be the same? Don't you try to change it. Not as long as the stars shine above. You ain't nothing, you ain't nobody, not till someone says I love you. So find yourself somebody to love. Snatch yourself somebody to love.
You brought the house down. The police finna come down here in a minute, I think.
So when does the play?
Wow.
When does the play
We
go
are
up?
March 15th through the 24th. We are doing 2 weekends, I believe.
Wow.
So that's very exciting. We're up in the Oster region in Cedar Falls.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, such energy from such a young person. You remind me of when Michael Blueblade first came out. You know, like what
Okay.
does this young man know about some Sammy Davis or any of that? But you really did that.
Thank you, Ahmad.
Thank
That
you.
was beautiful.
What'd you think, Pastor?
That was amazing.
Wasn't
you.
that
Yeah,
wonderful?
you have a gift, my friend.
Thank you
I'm
so much.
telling
Thank you
you.
for sharing it with
Thank
the world.
Yes,
to
now I
God.
see why Bev Smith is watching. Everybody want to see Ahmad do
That's
his
all that
thing,
was,
right? Yes, and I know Bev watches all the time. We got birthday people, Shaviva.
Yes, we absolutely
Yes,
do. We ask
who
you
are
to
they?
hang on with us, birthday people, because you know we never forget you. We got the best birthday people every single week.
Like
Yes.
Vicki Brown,
Yes.
Asia Weekly, Esseria Greer, Crystal Rhea, and Vanisha Graves, and Chantrice Doris.
Okay, yes, and also happy birthday to Charity Nebby,
Yes.
Deborah Salas,
Yes.
Rose Salas, her son, Tracy Tolles McKellen,
Yes.
Shalom Nwaokolo,
All right.
and Dina Mission Teneza. Happy birthday to all of you great folks.
Right, we have some comments before I get to sing my solo. Ahmad, pay attention
come
now.
on, somebody.
Okay.
Well, you said it. Bev Smith was watching, and she said that was amazing, Ahmad.
Yes, yes.
And you might want to, there was a question, you might have answered it already since she made her comment, but somebody was asking when the show was, so
Yes.
just go ahead and repeat when
Yes,
the show
absolutely.
was. And then there's a lot of hand clapping and hearts after the
Yes.
performance as well.
We are looking at March 15th through the 24th
All right.
at the Oster region in Cedar Falls. Main
Yes,
All right.
and if Amy's on there, she's going to make sure that all that
That's
information
right. She's
gets
going to
on.
put that information in the comments.
Or we will update it if not today.
Yes.
So we'll make sure everybody gets to know. Now, here's my solo. I'm sure you would agree
It couldn't fit more perfectly
than to have a world party.
on the day you came to be.
Happy birthday
to ya. Happy birthday to ya.
Happy
birthday.
Happy birthday to ya.
Yes.
Happy birthday to ya.
We got the bass
Happy
here.
birthday.
Woo, harmony and everything. Oh my goodness.
Low volumes.
Oh, yeah, that was great. Well, see, if we can't sing good, we sing loud. So you
come
did
on.
fine. Okay. As seasoned women, we've learned a few things, Shaviva, and
Oh,
I have
yes.
learned that there's more power in a good, strong hug than in 1,000 meaningful words.
Yes, indeed. And you know what I've learned?
What?
I've learned that you never judge a book by its cover because, like people, it's the inside that counts.
That's right. That's right. All right. Well, until next week, we want to thank you guys again.
It's my honor.
Yes.
It really was. It was fun.
The energy was off the chain.
I know.
It was dope.
Come
It
on.
was sick.
That's right.
What else?
Whatever
Okay.
young folks say.
Whatever y'all be saying, that's what it
right.
was.
Yeah.
And keep doing more of what makes you awesome.
Absolutely, like Pastor,
Pastor
Q,
Q
and
and
like
Ahmad.
Ahmad, because
It makes us all look good.
And hey, even though it's not Friday, this is still North End Update.
Right. See you Friday. Thank you.